swiftly and professionally handled and well managed.
One of the suspected invaders explained their mission in the state.
The security agent that will be that will carry on this activity.
We come and endorsed for training for 2 days training, 2 weeks training for the oil company which joined for our organization.
They have since been escorted by the officers of the Amachako Corps to the state boundary. From Akure, the Ondo State capital, Jonah Omowa reporting.
The Department of State Services says it will begin a clampdown on agents of anarchy in various parts of the country. In a statement by spokesman Peter Afunaya, the service faulted those said to be creating instability through comments that threaten the sovereignty and corporate existence of the nation. It also condemned what it called the unnecessary vituperations and activities of some religious and past political leaders who have either called for a forceful change of government or mass action against it. The DSS described as unfortunate a situation where those who should be patriotic were allowing their personal ambitions to ruin the nation. It reminded every Nigerian that although democracy offers free speech, it did not give room to reckless pronouncements. The agency, however, said it was working with other security and law enforcement agencies to ensure the maintenance of peace and internal security in the country. The Independent National Electoral Commission office in SCN Udim local government area has been gutted by fire. INEC Chairman Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye, confirmed the incident to newsmen. He said INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner for Akwa Ibom State, Mark Igini, reported the Inferno incident to INEC headquarters in Abuja. He listed the items destroyed to include 345 ballot boxes, 135 voting cubicles, megaphones, water tanks, and office furniture. Okoye said the fire incident is a setback for the Commission, especially as the Electoral Board prepares for the conduct of the 2023 general elections. Military authorities have confirmed the release of the abducted students of King's School, otherwise known as Capro Secondary Mission School, located at Ghana Rup in Bakin Ladi local government area of Plateau State. In a statement issued today, the spokesperson of Operation Safe Haven, Major Ibrahim Shitu, said troops rescued the remaining students in captivity yesterday. He said the rescue operation was achieved through sustained search and rescue efforts of the troops, adding that no ransom was paid to secure the students' release. According to the military spokesman, the rescued students is in good health condition and has since been reunited with other students in the college. You're watching the World News on Independent Television. Still to come, Italy unveils plan for new Rome Colosseum floor with Gladiator's view. You can watch ITV News on Roku TV in the UK, America, Africa, and other parts of Europe, and also on Smart TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Android TV. View us nationwide on TSTV on channel 364, Star Times channel 130, and Go TV channel 107. Follow us on our Twitter handle at ITV Radio NG, YouTube at youtube.com/ITV Radio NG, website itvradionigeria.com, live stream us at itvradionigeria.com/live, like our Facebook page at facebook.com/ITV Radio NG, Instagram ITVNG. Download ITV app from your mobile Play Store today. To stay with us. Thank you very much for staying tuned. And now from the foreign scene, hospitals in Delhi continue to send desperate messages for emergency oxygen supplies through the night on Sunday, warning that patients are at risk. The crisis started 2 weeks ago but shows no signs of abating. For reports. At least 12 patients, including a doctor, died when a prominent hospital ran out of oxygen on Saturday. Outside hospitals, families of patients who can't find a bed are struggling to get hold of portable cylinders, sometimes standing in queues for up to 12 hours. Several big hospitals in Delhi are relying on daily oxygen supplies, but they are not getting enough to keep some as backup in case of emergency. One doctor described the situation as frightening. The situation is worse still in small hospitals that don't have storage tanks and have to rely on big cylinders. And the oxygen crisis comes as coronavirus cases continue to surge. Delhi alone reported more than 200,000 new infections and 407 deaths on Sunday. India, meanwhile, over the weekend recorded its highest daily coronavirus death toll since the pandemic began and became the first country to register more than 400,000 new cases in a single day. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has repeatedly said that the city was not getting enough oxygen from the federal government, which allocates oxygen quotas to states. Federal officials say there is no shortage of oxygen, but that the challenge has come from transportation. Sharon Ajayi reporting. Still on COVID-19, the number of deaths related to the disease has passed 400,000 in Brazil, the second highest in the world, as the country continues to struggle with its vaccination program. There are 3,001 deaths in 24 hours, after a peak of more than 4,000 was reached at the start of April. Thomas Sado has details.
The 14-day average of deaths and cases remain high but has seen a slight fall. Congress has opened an inquiry into government's handling of the pandemic. The commission will investigate a number of actions, including slow vaccine procurement by the president, its repeated statements downplaying the severity of the virus, and the promotion of scientifically unproven drugs such as hydroxychloroquine. President Jair Bolsonaro, who has frequently spoken out against lockdowns, masks, and defended unproved drugs as treatment, is facing widespread criticism and his support has plummeted. The outbreak has been fueled by more transmissible variants of the virus and a lack of coordinated national measures. The situation has improved in many areas, including where the health system was on the brink of collapse after states and cities imposed restrictions, but they are now already being eased. Thomas Sado reporting.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has accused China of acting more aggressively abroad and more repressively at home. He said in an interview that the U.S. did not want to hold China down, but would not allow it to undermine the rules-based international order. He noted that a military confrontation was profoundly against the interests of both countries. Tensions have soared in recent times over trade, espionage, and the pandemic. The China-U.S. relationship is crucial to both sides and the wider world, with Beijing repeatedly calling on the new administration in Washington to improve relations which deteriorated under President Joe Biden's predecessor, Donald Trump. Mr. Blinken is visiting London for the first time to face a meeting of foreign ministers from the G7 industrialized country in more than 2 years. Still on the foreign scene, the Italian government has approved a plan to furnish Rome's ancient Colosseum with a new floor, giving visitors the chance to stand where gladiators once fought. Culture Minister Dario Franzonichi announced the project to be built the wooden rectangle floor on Sunday. Mr. Franzonichi said the extraordinary new floor would allow visitors to see the majesty of the Colosseum from its center. The minister said cultural events could be held in the Colosseum once the floor had been restored to its former glory. Italian engineering firm Milan Ignaggia won the €18.5 million contract to design the floor. The floor is expected to be finished by 2023. At present, the 2,000-year-old monument has no floor. It was removed by archaeologists in the 19th century, exposing the underground network of tunnels where gladiators and animals were held before the Roman blood sports began. The Colosseum was the biggest amphitheater in Roman Empire. Gladiatorial fights and other public spectacles were hosted in front of crowds of at least 50,000 people. While the coronavirus pandemic has limited tourism, the Colosseum remains one of Italy's most famous landmarks. Before the pandemic struck, the monument attracted about 7.6 million people in 2019. And now from Colombia, President Ivan Duque has withdrawn a controversial tax reform bill following 4 days of huge protests across the country. In a televised statement, he said his government would work to produce new proposals and seek consensus with other parties and organizations. He had previously insisted tax rises were needed to respond to the economic crisis generated by the pandemic. But tens of thousands of people took to the streets in anger at the bill. Unions who organized the protest said it would disproportionately impact the poorest people who were already struggling with the economic impact of COVID-19. Colombia's gross domestic product dropped by 6.8% last year, its deepest crash in half a century, and the coronavirus pandemic has further driven up its unemployment rate. South Africa has revealed plans to clamp down on breeder lions for hunting or sold tourist camp-pet cubs. The move comes after the results were published from a 2-year study into the controversial practice of captive lion breeding. It found that the practice risked conservation efforts and harmed wild animals. South Africa's government accepted the panel's recommendations, which could anger the hunting industry. But she said regulated hunting of lions raised in the wild would be allowed to continue. It provides a lucrative source of tourism revenue. Upwards of 8,000 lions are thought to be in captivity in South Africa, compared with about 3,500 in the wild. In our talk in sports, Manchester United's Premier League game against Liverpool has been postponed after supporters stormed into the stadium and onto the pitch as thousands of fans gathered outside Old Trafford to demand that the Glazer family sells the club. The report. They were part of long-running anger against the American owners boiled over on Sunday after they were part of the failed attempt to take United into a breakaway European Super League last month. United and Liverpool players were unable to travel to the stadium. United said in a statement that following discussion between the police and the league, Trafford Council and the clubs, the match against Liverpool has been postponed due to safety and security considerations around the protests. The statement said discussions on a revised date for the fixture would take place with the league. The Glazers, who also own the NFL's Tampa Bay Buccaneers, have declined to engage with fans since buying United in 2005 in a leveraged takeover that loaded debts onto the club. Fans are currently unable to attend games due to the pandemic, but they found a way into the stadium. More than 100 fans got inside the stadium, and some could be seen from windows waving down to protesters. Police on horseback later cleared protesting fans from outside the stadium, with glass bottles being thrown in brief clashes. Sharon Ajayi reporting. And after in the news, looking at the top stories. Hospitals in Delhi continue to send desperate messages for emergency oxygen supplies through the night on Sunday, warning that patients are at risk. The crisis started 2 weeks ago but shows no sign of abating. We also reported the Manchester United's Premier League game against Liverpool has been postponed after supporters stormed into the stadium and onto the pitch as thousands of fans gathered outside Old Trafford to demand that the Glazer family sells the club. And finally, the Italian government has approved a plan to furnish Rome's Asian Colosseum with a new floor, giving visitors the chance to stand where gladiators once fought. And that's the world news is read by Sharon Ajayi. Thanks a lot for watching. Join us tonight at 7:30 p.m. for our main news package. Good afternoon.
Independent television, certainly the
Independent television is live 24 hours on GoTV Channel 107, StarTimes Channel 130 and TSTV Channel 346, and you can watch from any part of the world on Roku TV, Smart TV, Amazon Fire TV and Android TV for your favorite programs, news, current affairs and lots more. You don't want to miss our objective and balanced reportage, entertainment and sports. Follow us on all our social media platforms, on Twitter at ITV Radio NG, Instagram at ITVNG. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ITV Radio NG. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/ITV Radio NG. Visit our website for more news stories and lots more. www.itvradioNigeria.com. Watch ITV via live streaming on the internet. www.itvradioNigeria.com/live. Also remember to visit your mobile app store and download the ITV app so you can watch on the go. For advert placement and commercials, please call the following numbers: 0805-563-8573, 0803-775-5024, 0708-365-2474, and